Way back then, in the golden era of bodybuilding, aesthetics in open bodybuilding was not hard to find. On the very left, in my opinion, perhaps one of the most aesthetic bodybuilders of all time. In my opinion, the most aesthetic of the golden era, none other than Serge Nubret. In the middle, you have Sergio Oliva. Unlike his son, he had a perfect waistline, really tiny waist, and it was not long. And to the right, even though he did not have the best waistline, he was known for having a wider waist. He had such huge arms, a huge chest lats, and so much width upstairs that he still created an impressive V-taper, and he was aesthetic as heck, even with his wide waistline in my opinion. But then, in the 90s, starting off with Dorian Yates, they started taking some serious amounts of anabolic chicken and they turned into mass monsters. Now, in my opinion, I'm both impressed by aesthetic physique and mass monsters, so I don't like to hate on one and claim that another is better than the other. It's whatever you prefer, guys, and in my opinion, I enjoy both the mass monster physiques and the aesthetic physiques. But in today's bodybuilding game, most bodybuilders in the open class are not aesthetic. They are more like mass monsters. But which bodybuilders are the 5 most aesthetic physique in today's open class bodybuilding? Well, let's figure it out. Now, first of all, I'm only choosing among active bodybuilders, and that means that they must have competed in an IFBB open class contest in 2020 or 2021, and they must have not announced their retirement. An example of this would be Dexter Jackson. He competed in 2020, but he has announced his retirement. Now, what does it mean to be aesthetic? Well, in my opinion, I have proportion and symmetry, so the right side should match the left side and the wheels should match the upper body. Also, I have flow, which sort of goes in line with proportion and symmetry. And it's also about how beautiful the muscle bellies are, the muscle insertions are, etc., etc. And then finally, you have the structure. So, of course, aesthetic physique, they are wide upstairs and they have a tiny wee waistline. Now, before we start on our top 5 list, here are some honorable mentions. On the very left, we have Quinton Uriah. He would have made the cut if he had more muscle separation upstairs. And then we have Dwayne Walker. And finally, last but not least, Blessing Awodibu. Now, I won't go into much detail of why these lads did not make the cut, but you guys can figure it out for yourself. And you can also put a comment in the section below if you think that they should have made the cut. Now, starting off at number 5, we have none other than Patrick Moore. In my opinion, this guy is a bit overrated when it comes to looking aesthetic. I think that he does indeed look aesthetic, but ever since 2019, I don't think that he has really brought insanely aesthetic physique, if that makes sense. First of all, he has fairly good muscle separation, but he hasn't really come in as shredded as he has in 2019. And for example, if you look at his arms, they are fairly decent, but they could be better. He could have better biceps peak when it comes to looking aesthetic. I think it's important to have fairly peaky biceps and big arms. When it comes to his waistline, yeah, he has a good set of abs, but they're not that amazing in my opinion. And his waistline, it could be tinier, but that is just my opinion. And his overall flow, I don't think it's that perfect, but still, he's good enough to land in the top 5. Now, in 4th, I have Rafael Brandao. And a lot of people might disagree with this. They might say that Patrick Moore is better than Rafael Brandao when it comes to aesthetics. But in my opinion, Rafael, he has a better waistline. It's tinier. He has peakier biceps. And I think that he overall has a better flow, even though his nipples are way too low. Now, I'm just joking, guys. I don't know why I said that, but have you guys ever noticed that? Come on, guys, come on. Now, I must stop being so immature. And moving on to the 3rd place. Who lands in 3rd? It's none other than Samson Dauda. Again, guys, a lot of people might disagree, but consider that flow, proportion, symmetry, that's important in my opinion. And this guy, at least from the front and the side, he looks tremendously aesthetic, and I also like his execution. Now, guys, from the back down below, he has fairly soft glutes, and if you guys think that glutes don't matter at all when it comes to aesthetics, it sort of looks strange when you look pretty shredded everywhere except for the glutes. But still, guys, this guy has wheels that match his upper body. He has a crazy V-taper, he has a nice waist, he can pull off a vacuum, and from the side he has those huge freaking pecs that sort of is reminiscent of a golden era bodybuilder. So in my opinion, he lands in third. Now coming in second place is this guy right here. Again, guys, a lot of people may disagree, and I think it will be mainly due to the fact that this dude does not have the smallest waistline. But being aesthetic, in my opinion, it's not just about waistline. As I said, flow, symmetry, proportions, detail, muscle separation, that's also all part of aesthetics. And I think that this guy has that in spades. Just look at his muscle bellies and flow. I think that is absolutely beautiful. He doesn't really have a strikingly weak body part. All his muscles look good, and in my opinion, this guy is just good, and he has a beautiful physique, and I think that he can achieve big things in the future. But guys, if this guy lands in second, who will land in first? Now, a lot of people may not have heard of this guy, and this guy sadly has not competed yet in 2021, and I doubt that he will, but hopefully we'll see him in 2022. The guy I'm talking about is none other than the modern reincarnation of freaking Patrick Buchanan, Mark Hector. Now, this guy is just crazy. He has that wasp waist, and when it comes to the downstairs department, he isn't really lacking. That goes from the front and the back. Now, some people, they might say that he has a fairly weak back that sort of throws off his flow a bit, and from the back his arms are too dominant, and I would sort of agree with that, but no one can be perfect, guys, and this is the open class. It's not like you can find an aesthetic physique everywhere you look. You have to look sort of closely, look beneath the rug, look under the bed, and so on and so forth. But in my opinion, this guy overall, flow, symmetry, proportion, and last but not least, structure, this guy has it all. Crazy, crazy structure, crazy waistline. In my opinion, Mark Hector, the most aesthetic physique in today's open class. Hopefully we'll see him sooner than later compete again. And this guy, he's just great in my opinion when it comes to aesthetics. And he also places quite high. I believe that he beat Samson Dauda at the show, if I remember correctly. This was the 2020 Europa Pro, and his latest show was not this, but I think that this show had better angles when it comes to the pictures. But I can show you the latest show that he competed at as well, which was the 2020 British Grand Prix. And here again, guys, looks amazing as always, even with the weird camera angle. But there you go, guys. In my opinion, these physique are the top 5 most aesthetic physique in today's IFBB open class. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or disagree for that matter. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to request a video about a topic or a comparison, feel free to do so in the comment section below. And do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Love you guys. Love the love that you give me. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen.